All right, let's see. It's loading on Facebook, so we should be live within 10 seconds. All right, we are live, man. Okay, John, thanks for taking the time to chat and to answer some questions. I really want to take this time to do a little interview. As I've mentioned to the group before, I am going to start doing some interviews, asking some of our students to share their experience, mainly to give you some strategies to model after. Because a lot of you that may be watching this might be like, oh man, how did John, and if you've heard about what John has done in the last 12, 14 months, you'll be amazed. And it's quite impressive what he's done and what he's been able to do and what he's going to do in the next 12 months. So I really want to take this opportunity to thank John, first of all, for being here and for being utilized now the training in who he is and being able to utilize the training and multiplying and magnifying who he is. And so we're gonna ask some questions. We're gonna ask him where he was, where he is and how he got to where he is and some strategies. It's gonna be, really, really short of an interview, 20 minutes-ish. So anyway, and feel free to ask questions in the comments. You can pop on and answer if we need to. Now, my internet is not the best where I am, so I'm not in my usual studio location. As you may notice, there are some pictures of Mushroom. Definitely not my house. So I'm just visiting a family member, and so let's get going. So John, tell me a little bit about your background, if you don't mind. Just big picture, like where did you play at the NFL? Tell us a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Good to see your face. So yeah, I have kind of a unique story. Played football in the National Football League without ever playing a single down in high school. So I kind of took a road that I don't know of any other person that really has ever taken. And obviously that gave me a lot of confidence in my ability to achieve at very high levels. That had a lot to do with my athleticism, but it also had a lot to do with persistence and overcoming adversity and a lot of the other stuff I learned through sport. At the end, ironically, I lasted about 3 years, and I had this sudden lapse of what I would call confidence in my ability. And when that happened, like a lot of NFL guys, your career is cut short. And I realized then that the reason I didn't win Super Bowls or play in, or make it 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, like some of my friends, I realized that I wasn't as mentally tough as I thought. And there was this concept of mindset that really was the demise of my career. And so I tried to start unpacking that. I immediately opened up a gym in Salt Lake City when I was 27 years old and wanted to teach athletes how to achieve at the highest level. And so my background in the fitness industry started with this performance style gym, where then I ended up training Olympic qualifiers, Major League Baseball players, World Series champions, professional basketball players, a ton of NFL players. And my style of training always had a lot to do with this mindset, right? And this concept of mindset. However, in business, I kept reaching this certain level of, and this certain problem, this financial problem. I would call it a financial problem where, um, I knew there was so much more potential, and there was an ability for me to impact so many more people on such a larger scale. And I would just tell myself these stories of why I couldn't. And I'd have these belief systems that were deeply rooted in my unconscious. Come to find out, I didn't know it at the time, but there was this 10-year period where I was like, man, I feel stuck. I could do so much more. And that's where I found you. And, I found you at a point in my life where I was not achieving at the level that I believed that I could achieve. Right. There was a part of me that believed I could. And then there was obviously a part of me that didn't have that self identity, that didn't think I could. And so you were the person who came in and bridged that gap for me, and integrated those parts within and got me to see very clearly got my self-image to raise super, super quick. And, that was probably, I don't know, 12, 14 months ago. This last year of my life, I've ascended at such a rapid pace, financially, business-wise, in my fitness, impacting more lives. It's been a magical ride. And so, I know that was probably long, but I wanted to give, a little backstory about where I came from, how I fell off, and then really ultimately hired you because I was like, I might not be as mentally tough as I think. I know persistence, I know grit, I know determination. I'll outwork anybody in the room, but that's still keeping me stuck at this certain level. So maybe I don't know the flip side of that. And I only learned one side of mental toughness, which a lot of coaches are going to teach, but they have no understanding of what you brought into my life. And that's that mystical, spiritual calmness, confidence, the certainty within. And man, I just got chills all over my body because it changed my entire life, because those other elements are very, very important. Grit, determination, perseverance, overcoming adversity, very important. But I had that. And a lot of you guys listening right now, I know you have that, but there's something else that's not clicking. And once you put those things together, it literally, it's felt more effortless and easy reaching my goals than it ever has in my entire life. My only regret is like, I wish I would have found William Lamb when I was, a 22-year-old kid in the NFL. Like that would have been awesome, because I have no idea what I would have been able to achieve. But not looking in the past and being super excited about the now and what I'm going to do. Dude, I just want to thank you for helping me remove myself from myself.
Man, you've like answered all my questions.
That's it.
I'm just kidding. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The honor is mine, John. It's been a great pleasure working with you. It's always helpful when we work with people that already have the grit and the ability to work hard and the ability to persevere, right? Because inevitably when we open the mind, things surface. So if someone already has the ability to push through and get past their own stuff, right, that makes it that much easier for us to apply these unique skills and or advanced skills to completely obliterate these limiting beliefs. So let me ask you this. Thank you for sharing this. um, Let me ask you this. What would you say were the top three things that, and you don't need to think about it too much, and maybe you already have thought about it a lot. What were the top three things that really helped you got to where you are now in the last 12, 14 months? Because now we know where you were, and there was a certain place that you were at in your business and your personal life, and then where you are now. I mean, how many times would you say that you've grown in terms of business, if you don't mind me asking, and
Yeah.
sharing with the
I
group?
mean, I literally have gone uh, probably almost 5 to 6x monthly income within the last year. Right. And so, that's going from, if I was to say 35K a month to almost 200. And that's fast, and when you ask me like, what's the one thing that you'd be really excited about, that would really like make this the most worth it thing in the world, I without hesitation, I said 100K a month. And it's ironic now I didn't know how that was going to happen. That seemed big, to me in the moment. And I was like this for a minute, and then it was like straight up, straight up. And it's not about chasing the zeros or the money like that. That was just a scoreboard. And I'm a competitor. I'm an athlete. So like I want to compete with myself, and revenue is just a way for me to be like, am I really going in the right direction, or am I staying stagnant? Because I stayed stagnant for the last 5 years. Right. And I knew more than I knew 5 years ago. I had more skill than I had 5 years ago, but still like my monetary temperature was just set, man. And it felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't break free. And I had all the strategies and I had all this stuff. And ironically, it was my own, like I said, my own mind that was holding me back. So if I could break it down into three things, I mean, you teaching me how to, well, number one, first and foremost, the most powerful thing that we've ever done was your integration protocol, which you actually helped me through. that was me bringing fragmented parts of myself. Whenever for those of you listening, if you've ever thought a part of me feels this way and a part of me feels this way, and there's conflict, like that literally was holding me back. And so your ability to get me very clear and congruent and aligned, I don't really know how to explain it other than I feel so certain and so aligned and so congruent for the first time in my 37 years on this earth that I don't feel like anything can stop me, and I don't feel like there's any limitation. So without even saying number 2 and 3, like that in itself would have been worth everything that I have to figure out, because when you're certain it within, you can do magical things. So that's that. Number 2, as simple as it sounds, focusing on what we want and coming from, a solution frame instead of a problem frame, right? Seeing possibility instead of problems, and just focusing on that desire and that want, and always that outcome that I truly want. Even in my fitness, like I've been in the fitness industry, I can talk about nutrition and training plans, and I can geek out about all the scientific stuff. But none of that even works. And this is what I brought to my program and my clientele. If they're focusing on what they don't want, they're never going to get the body they want. They're never going to get the feeling that they want. They're never going to get the performance that they want. I went through an NFL career in 36 years on earth, like literally just sometimes focusing on what I wanted and most of the time focusing on what I didn't want. And so for the first time ever, for a single year, 12 months, I focused solely on what I wanted. And if I ever got tripped up, I'd be like, Will, dude, what about this? And you're like, what are you focused on? I'm like, you're right. I'm not focused on the right thing. And that might seem simple. And I've read that in 100 books probably, but your ability to articulate that and have it sink in. I mean, the 2 things that I mentioned, like that was the drastic change. And then number 3, that kind of leads into the ability to control your emotional state, because that emotional state is the biggest predictor of your behavior. Think about this in terms of fitness. Every fitness coach out there wants you to change a behavior. And if you don't change a behavior, they tell you that you're not disciplined enough. Well, I used to think that way too, right? But when I started really figuring this stuff out and my clients started getting better results as a result of me figuring this out, we got to wind it back more than just the behavior, because it's your thoughts that influence your emotions that influence your behavior. And if we only focus on behavior, your willpower is probably going to win and you're going to lose in fitness. So what we do with our clients is rewind it all the way back: thoughts, emotions, behaviors, habits, outcome.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh man, those are such great advice. And it's really cool because people tend to pick up different things, but what you have said, the central theme, it's certainly congruent with also what other people have learned, and I personally have experienced that took me from where I was to where I am. So I'm grateful that you're sharing this. And I want to point out to the listeners, the viewers right here, and the people in our group, John has a magnificent program, fitness program. So if any of you, especially, I know it's New Year coming up. It's not really about the new year, it's about the new you. So if any of you are like, man, I really want to break through something I haven't been able to do in physical fitness or physiological change, weight loss or whatever, just getting fit or even bulking up, whatever it is that your goal is, I would say definitely reach out to John's team, because John's program is very unique. What he teaches is not only, as he already mentioned and or hinted at, it's not only just macros, counting macros and or doing what exercises, how to do them right, and or strategically, stimulating your body to grow in such a way that's perfect for you. Not only that, he teach you how to think about things. And it's a perfect infusion of how we have taught mindset and mental programming. John has taken that piece and incorporated it into his training, and his coaches are also highly trained. Many of them are trained by us as well in the mindset space and trained by him in the physiological change. This is very much of a beautiful harmonious symphony of what we both do. So anyway, if you're interested in changing your fitness, definitely reach out to John. And I typically don't say too much about, our student or our clients, our friends' business in these interviews, but I think that this is worth mentioning because if your physiology is not on point, your mind will be influenced. Your state, your emotional state will be influenced, not necessarily positively. So as you move into the new year, 2021, and as we look at 2020, a lot of the things can be far better if our physiology is on point. So definitely reach out to John's team, and they'll get you taken care of. So John, let me ask you this, couple of final questions. One would be, what what gets you most excited about next year, knowing what you've learned so far about mental programming, mental toughness, and how to really just focus on what you want? Like, what are you most excited about in 2021? And you can share whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I mean, for me and my business, Athletic and Fit, I'm so excited to build the brand. I'm so excited to build the brand, meaning I want to impact people through fitness and nutrition and emotional nourishment, right? Because we have to control our thoughts, and our emotional state as a society is is not good. People are not trained in the ability to be able to create an emotional state that leads to a highly motivated action that leads to the outcome that they ultimately want. Everybody out there is just reacting to the news and reacting to everything else out there. And so, in my world, in this brand of Athletic and Fit, I'm so excited. In the past year, we've only advertised to men. We have women in the program, but they're usually wives of some of the men we brought in through advertising. 2021, we're coming out the gate and we're launching a massive female campaign, because it's not about male or female. It's about empowering people to create this emotional and mental and physical change, and that ripple effect that you guys know, when you change, everything else and everything else around you changes. So it's not just about changing one, it's about changing as many people and having that ripple effect go out as far as it possibly can and creating the change that I want to see. And I have an amazing team of coaches. We're growing, we're expanding. And for me, I'm just excited to live this purpose. This is what I feel my purpose is, and to cast that vision and to let all the amazing people on my team, from coaches to staff, to carry out this vision, because they're bought in. So for me, it's about massive impact, and it's about growing our brand from a couple hundred to 1,000, and having the support needed where every single person has a tailored program with one-on-one fill, so that they can get a customized approach that's unique to them and their body and their situation. Not many people in the fitness industry can do that. I know we can.
I can vouch for that. I actually joined John's program, and it's changing my body big time.
Oh yeah.
So really appreciate that. And I want to ask you then, um, so with that, new plan and new vision, and or things that you're doing in 2021 that you're really excited about, what do you think will be really helpful, for, because some of the viewers might be like, oh man, I really want to change my physiology, I really want to change my mindset, I really want to change all these things, and they may or may not be ready for your program, for my program, because some of them are not existing students, some of them are. And what would you say the number one advice you would give them to really break through what's going on in the mind or in the body so that they can take their life to that whole new level, just like you did?
I would tell them that it's impossible to outperform your current self-image. It's literally almost impossible to outperform what you think about yourself. And so, regardless of strategy, I would say, just, and I don't like to say don't do something, right? But watch out for quick fixes. Watch out for 30-day fixes. Watch out for detoxes and all the buzzwords that advertisers like to use to sell this idea that, you know it can just be very easy. You can take a pill and then all of a sudden you get the body you want. I would encourage you to understand that it's not as much about strategy and tactics, although there's a lot of wrong ways to go about changing physiology and mindset and fitness. However, the thing that you have to wrap your mind around is focusing on the outcome that you truly want, and having that like front and center at all time. Whether, that could be, if I turn my screen, I have my vision board over there, right? And at the top, you can't see my finger, but at the very top in the corner there's a picture of King Leonidas, because when I was 16 years old I saw this image of this powerful king that I was like, dude, I want to, that's strong, that's strength, and that's power, that represents. And it literally seeps into my unconscious that I focus on that outcome. I focus on that outcome all day long. My identity from purchasing coaching from you, one of the most amazing things that you can do for yourself is tell your unconscious that you're worth it. So me writing you a check to help me in my own life, yes, that might have hit your, whatever bank you use's account. Yes. But I got all the ROI. I get all the interest. I'm making massive ROI on my deposit to you. And a lot of the reason is as soon as I write a check from my hard-earned money to you, I tell my unconscious that, John, you're worth it, man. You're worth it. And you can do it. I'm telling myself I believe in me. And that's part of the investment. Then there's energy and effort and, all the stuff that I also need to put into it. But understand that if you're looking to change and you're looking to transform, you have to raise that identity up. Getting a coach is a great way to do that, but also understanding that your focus is really going to be the thing that determines whether or not that tactic or strategy you choose works. It could be the best tactic and strategy in the world, but if you keep focusing on what you don't want, or you don't know how to focus on the outcome that you do want, nothing's going to change. And it could be the greatest strategy in the world and it still won't work for you. So understand that it's less about that and more about, the focus, and more about raising that self-identity. And if you want to do that in the fastest way possible, in my opinion, that's finding somebody who knows, and you know going to them to shorten those steps for you.
Amazing. Brilliant answer, man. That was really good. I think that the viewers have gained a tremendous amount of value. And I even, as I'm listening, I'm like, wow, that's really good advice in so many ways. So thank you again for your time, John. I think that there will be definitely many more questions from our viewers and from myself. I'd like to hear more about your strategy so that people can also learn them. And then I think that next time, maybe when we do an interview, when we pick a time, we could actually announce the program called Upgrade X. That's actually a joint program. And guys, you know this, I'm very careful about who we bring on, not only into our training, but also especially who we partner up with to do some of these trainings. And John is someone that we've carefully chosen because of not only his results, but his mindset and his actual application and utilization of the techniques we teach. And it's just such a wonderful fit. And us working together building this program called Upgrade X. We'll tell you more about it. Essentially, it's a transformation of the body and mind together, because it's just the best way to do it. So we'll talk more about that next time, but this time we really just want to thank John for sharing your time and sharing those wisdom of how you got from where you were to where you are. And next time maybe we'll get more detail into some of these things, as I'm sure people want to hear. So thank you
Dude,
again, John. Thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
let's do it again, man. That was fun. Time goes super fast, but yeah, let's announce it next time and then have the ability to field some questions and all of that good stuff. But yeah, Upgrade X, man. When I left that out of the exciting things we're doing, but Upgrade X in 2021 is one of my top excitement levels, because we had our first group kind of graduate through the program a couple months ago, and the event was life changing. And I can't wait to bring a couple more into that program, because when they get that mindset training that you've done on myself and many others, combined with the physical training to finally step into that power and that image, it's magical, man. So I cannot wait for people.
Yes, likewise. We'll tell them a lot more next time. Thank you again for your time, John. That was incredible and very valuable.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you real soon. Take care, my friend.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Say hi to the fam from me.
Will do.
Talk to you later. Bye.